Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well today. We're going to take a look at the retrogrades that are happening. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and then I'll go through the dates of the retrogrades, okay? So Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto. All of these planets are going retrograde and will have an immersion and dissolving of energies to start a new journey. But first, your perspective and understanding will need to change. Identity shifts are wanting to emerge in Aries, while holding the force of authority and structure, which will be Saturn, to place you on an authentic path, which is Neptune, that you have been asking the divine to liberate you from, which is Uranus, the liberation or freedom that you've been searching for, to bring a death or rebirth, which is Pluto, to your connections with the physical world and to transform your psychological world. This will in turn be a brand new you. You will be seen by others differently. You will have a new identity. This will be the result of your physical appearance changing and may include changes to your physical body. Pisces, Aries, Aquarius, Taurus, and Gemini energies and the houses are activated on an internal dialogue for everyone to review, reassess, and to return to what identity your soul is calling you to be in this new world that is emerging, which is Uranus in Gemini and Pluto in Aquarius. These retrogrades will help you slow down to see the new perceptions and new understandings that will help you articulate what you have journeyed through thus far and why. It will show you what you desire to change and why. It will also enlighten you to whether or not this desire is necessary, or is there a change that needs to happen internally so that you and the pattern is disrupted and doesn't repeat again. So please take your time, surrender to whatever feelings and emotions may come up, acknowledge them, but act slowly and precisely to make sure that your perspective and consciousness have caught up with what realities want to emerge. This time can be compared to the dark night of the soul, which includes inner child healing and much needed soul time to do the inner work that is and will be greatly desired. And those of you who believe that we have multiple lives, this is the changes that will be present within the next lifetime. For most of these planets will only have one chance of this energy within this lifetime. So I'm going to go over the schedule of the retrogrades. So we have Saturn retrograde on July 13th, 2025 at 1 degrees and 56 minutes in Aries. On September 1st, 2025, Saturn will then retrograde into Pisces. November 27th, 2025, at 25 degrees and 9 minutes, Saturn will turn direct in Pisces. Neptune retrograde will happen on July 4th, 2025, at 2 degrees and 11 minutes in Aries. On October 22nd, 2025, it will then enter Pisces. And December 10th, 2025, at 29 degrees and 22 minutes, Neptune will go direct in Pisces. Pluto retrograde will start May 4th, 2025, at 3 degrees and 49 minutes in Aquarius. And in October 13th, 2025 at 1 degrees and 22 minutes, Pluto will then go direct in Aquarius. Uranus retrograde will happen on September 6, 2025 at 1 degrees and 28 minutes in Gemini. On November 7th, 2025, Uranus will then enter Taurus as it retrogrades back into Taurus. On February 3rd, 2026, Uranus will then go direct in Taurus. So I'm going to go over all the signs. Please watch your sun, moon, and rising sign to get a full picture of what's happening within your world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Hi Aries, I hope you're doing well today. We're going to take a look at these retrogrades that are happening within your world. Please take time out to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, so we're going to start with Saturn. Saturn will be going retrograde on July 13th. In Aries, in your first house. Okay, so Saturn is bringing a new structure to you of yourself in your psychological world. Okay, so we're changing with retrograde. We're reviewing, we're reassessing, we're realigning. The first house deals with your identity, who you are, how other people see you, okay? Your physical body, your physical appearance is the first house. This is also how you lead yourself throughout the world. So Saturn here is trying to give you your own authority. And doing it by going retrograde, it's creating that structure for a new psychological way of thinking. It's to encourage you to maybe bring out some truths of how bosses actually are, because that can happen in the way that they see you, okay? The way that your work sees you. And some of it can be, I'm not gonna, sugarcoat it when it comes to Saturn, because Saturn can place you in a position of understanding that you're just a number at work, understanding that you are just a paid worker by your boss, understanding that this could also be some type of Saturn is a Capricorn energy. Okay, this could be some type of reputation that you have, and maybe you didn't know about it, or maybe this could be that push or passion for you to become that leader. Okay, maybe that's in the back of your mindset, that it's time for me to take charge of my workspace. It's time for me to take charge of my life. It's time for me to take charge of my physical body and the way that other people see me, taking accountability for who you are. Okay, now Saturn will be in Aries until September 1st, I'm sorry, in Pisces. Pisces being activated with Saturn retrograde on the 1st of September will bring you to a point of understanding a type of enlightenment. And I'm going to show you why, because Pisces is in that 12th house. Pisces in the 12th deals with surrender. It deals with letting go and going of faith. It's dealing with spirituality and soul work and enlightenment. Okay, it deals with higher states of consciousness, psychic and intuitive abilities, and this is also where things are hidden and private. This is where hidden enemies are. Okay, so there could be some type of father figure, authority figure, a person that wears the pants in your family that holds authority in your mind's eye, that your understanding is some type of hidden enemy, or your understanding that they have an agenda for you. Okay, So keep that in mind. This could also be Saturn working psychologically to enlighten you to who you actually are. You are a leader. You are a person that is capable of holding that courage and strength for yourself to get through anything necessary. Now, Pisces does deal with loss. So when it goes retrograde, whenever a planet goes retrograde into Pisces, it's going to replay situations that had already happened. So if there was already a loss, if there was grief that was surrounding your identity, this could be a time to where that's revisited. And this could also be a time to where that is healed, so that Saturn can play out as a planet of authority for you and your identity. Okay? Now, I do want to talk about Neptune. Neptune is in Aries also. Let me get another pen here. And Neptune is going retrograde in Aries. And Neptune is that new cycle, new reality, new internal change that changes also the physical. Okay, so the physical body can change because of a new trajectory. Neptune has a way of placing you on that path that you need to be on. Neptune in your chart can also show you your purpose. It can show you divine downloads. It can show you a certain type of spiritual or spirituality. Neptune is the ruler over Pisces. So it's using those definitions of Pisces to bring you back to your soul of what you really want. And you could be sitting in a job that you no longer love or have a connection to, and Neptune is placing you to a higher enlightenment to show you maybe clarity, maybe unveiling situations so that you have that clarity, right? Of, do you really want this? Is this really your true soul calling, right? We need to situate ourselves to where we can interact with Saturn, because Saturn will also conjunct Neptune. Okay, so this will be that push and pull of the divine trying to show you, hey, is this really something that you want to have in your life? And for you, it is the first house of your identity, whether that is dealing with relationships or dealing with a job or dealing with the public or whomever that you're consistently with all the time. Is this the way that you want to be seen? There could be a divine download that happens with Neptune retrograde to enlighten you, to bring you to a point of clarity, to show you, hey, I'm not sure if I'm in the right situation here. This really isn't me. This isn't who I want to be. This isn't the definition of me that I want for the world, right? And that could happen because Neptune is going into Pisces once again. And if you haven't looked at my videos regarding Neptune and Pisces, I do suggest that you do so. Or Saturn in Pisces, right? But Neptune retrograde is like a divine download, like the God, source, or the universe is trying to save you from situations of yourself, okay, and placing you on a more authentic path that you need to be on. Now, changing the reality of situations can happen with a loss. It can happen with enlightenment. It can happen with transformation. These are all Pisces definitions, right? And it can change that job to where there's a loss of a job. It can change a situation to where there's a loss of a person or a loss of a situation. Okay? It really depends on what you have been praying for, because your prayers are being answered during this time. Okay? With Neptune activated as it retrogrades. And then it's going to meet up with Saturn, right? This is a change of you, an immersion of you, a different you, okay? Now, I do want to also look at Uranus, because Uranus will go retrograde. It will be retrograde on September 6th until February 2026, okay? Now, it will retrograde first into Gemini, and we're going to look at Gemini. Gemini is in that third house, which is communication. Gemini is also communication to yourself, vehicles, phones, gadgets. There are people in Gemini, which is aunts, uncles, cousins, relatives, nieces, nephews, and neighbors. Ideas and documents is Gemini. Moving or movement, media and writing. I think I said your mindset, but I'm going to say it again because it's prevalent with retrograde, okay, of reviewing, reassessing everything. Small education is Gemini. Skills and learning abilities is Gemini, okay? With Uranus going retrograde in Gemini, it will actually be a little bit before the full moon eclipse in Pisces, right? So keep that in mind. But Uranus brings in change. Uranus brings in liberation and freedom. And this is from yourself because it's retrograde. Okay, so your mindset will be challenged with Uranus and Gemini. Your communication to other people may even be challenged with Uranus and Gemini. So with it retrograde going back into Taurus, let me grab another pen here. I know I'm using so many colors. It's going to go back into Taurus in that second house. And there could be changes that happen. This could be a result of you losing a job and that money is changing. Because Taurus in the second house is money, is your self-worth, is how you spend money. Also, it includes your value, the value that you bring into the world. And there could be some things that are in your mindset of regard to, I have a skill and learning ability that I'm not using. And that could come up with Uranus going back into Taurus. Now it goes back into Taurus on November 7th, 2025. And that's when things can completely shift for you of actually trying to figure out whether or not the money that you're making is how you are valued by the company, right? Or this could be that liberation and freedom of your mindset changing to where you are stable where you are. There's no need for change. That could be something, because it could go either way with Uranus. Uranus is change, Taurus is stability. But it could also be the fact of, I need to be more stable with my finances, and therefore budgets happen. Or this could be a situation to where Uranus is acting out as the change facilitated in Taurus with your face and food, right? There's changes with maybe allergies. There's changes maybe with a face situation that you've had, maybe acne of some sort, maybe adult acne or some sort, right? That changes are happening, so it facilitates you to be what those other planets are talking about. A leader, a person that's capable of leading themselves, Aries, and maybe even having that unconditional love for other people, which would be toward those people that are of authority in your life, Saturn, right? So a different type of of identity that's coming through for you that will stick with you throughout these transits. And that will help you with the decisions that need to be made with major transits. Excuse me. Now, Taurus could also facilitate that luxury that could be missing in your life. There could be situations of you not giving yourself that self-love and encouragement. And when Uranus goes into Taurus, it's you need to take time out for yourself because, you know, experience in life is what counts, not the money that you make, right? And it could be trying to show you the truth of what you are valuable for. Or it could be trying to show you the truth of that you are valued, therefore you deserve. Okay? So keep that in mind too. Now, it will retrograde into Taurus, and then it will go direct in Taurus on February 3rd, 2026. So keep that in mind. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything else, but this could be a mindset, right, that needs to change upon how you are valued, and are the people around you valuing you the way that you should be valued, right? Because that Gemini essence is still there. That Gemini of communication and mindset is still there. And it could be reminding you of your place in the world, reminding you of what you're valued for, okay? If you're not a person that is at work or working and you're retired, this deals with your community. Uranus is the ruler over Aquarius, and it deals with the community. It deals with groups, clubs, and affiliations, older siblings, people that are acquaintances or friends of long distance, okay, your goals, your hopes, dreams, and wishes. So Uranus has that flavor of pushing you into a different situation to see your self-worth and confidence that you have, to push you toward a different type of community setting, friendship setting, socializing setting, to open up opportunities of you to have experience and enjoy life, right? So we're going to look at Pluto, because Pluto is in Aquarius, and Pluto, it had went retrograde on May 4th, and it will go direct on October 13th in Aquarius, okay? So let's look at, let me grab another. I'm going to use black for Pluto. Aquarius is in that 11th house, and Pluto in Aquarius retrograde is trying to show you your surroundings, is trying to show you, are you capable of transforming those surroundings? Does it need to be detached from your world? Like, are there people within those surroundings that you need to detach from? Because that's the death and rebirth of Pluto. The death is detachment and those emotions being over here. And this is included in your clubs, groups, and affiliations, your community, 11th house, okay? 11th house is also older siblings, socializing, technology, your hopes, dreams, and wishes, and your rewards and gains. So Pluto, the planet of transformation, death, and rebirth, is asking you to detach from situations of socializing, detach from situations of being around certain people at this time, because it may be that you can't necessarily make a move yet. Things are working internally with Pluto retrograde, and you can't necessarily make that action happen yet. So patience is key. Also, the rebirth is finding what you need, finding those clubs, groups, and affiliations. So Pluto right now is transforming you on the inside to show you who is really there for you. Where do you need to belong? What do you have in your mind's eye as a desire to connect with other people? How do you see that? Do you see yourself in a community? Do you see yourself in the community that you're in right now? Right? Remember that Gemini was activated with Uranus, and it could have been talking about those people, aunts, uncles, cousins, relatives, nieces, nephews, and neighbors, of things needing to change, okay, or moving, right? So all of this will be consistently in your head, in the background, of reviewing, reassessing what exactly it is that you want and desire. Sometimes when things are retrograde, this is not just things happening to show you how you are internally, but it's also to show you what you want internally so that you can change it in the physical. So one of the questions that you have to ask yourself, Aries, is where exactly do I want to be? Am I comfortable and happy where I am? Or do I feel the need to change something up, right? Now, again, Pluto is death and rebirth. So this could be those situations of things happening around you. Yes, it can be people passing. Yes, it can be people being born, right? And maybe the person that was pregnant before Pluto went retrograde. Now I'm going to tell you again the date, May 4th of this year, of 2025. Maybe it's that before this date something happened, and now as it's going direct in October, they're pregnant, or they're having another situation of the same flavor. You know what I mean? So patterns being repeated, things that you can actually see with your mind's eye of this is a situation that consistently happens. Do I want to be a part of this? And you decide whether or not you want to affiliate yourself with that, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be those aunts, uncles, cousins, relatives, nieces, nephews, or neighbors. It can be the job, right? It can be communication that you've already received before, and you know exactly how to deal with it, but at the same time, are you tired of it, right? So Pluto is trying to place you in the right community, in a situation of your goals. Maybe you got a job of some sort and you had forgotten why you wanted that job, or why you needed that job, or the goals that you have after that job. Maybe you had forgotten. Okay, and Pluto comes in and is helping you psychologically to detach from, so that you can place those feelings over here and do the work that's needed to be done, or make the move that's needed to be made, right? So transformation internally, maybe even on a psychological level, of how you define and look at your surroundings, okay? So this retrograde, with all of these planets are working together, and I'm going to come back to the first one that we were talking about with Saturn and Neptune, of changing your identity, placing you on a new path, a new trajectory, to where it's more authenticity, to where it actually matches what your soul wants. Okay? All right, Aries, thank you for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.